You know, the last two videos I just made, the weird sleep stuff and sinuses, ear, fluid in the ear, hearing loss, and severe insomnia and sleeping way too much and flipping back and forth. When you have a doctor, when you are living a weird experience like that, and those last two videos I made, you know, when you have a lot of weird stuff going on, complex stuff, and you're a patient, it can take years or decades or a lifetime to put the pieces together and try to understand what's going on, or just make the connections between things. And sometimes I'm sure there's lots of times people go to their grave never figuring things out, never solving things, right? And when you're seeing doctors and they don't have the patience to listen to your whole story, and they don't want to hear your history, even if it's complicated, that's bizarre to me. Like, either you want to help people or you don't, or either you want you know uh really easy cases, and you don't want mystery cases. And doctors won't clarify, right? They won't clarify. They just lose patience, or they just want to deal with something, easy cases. Not all doctors, but they just want to deal with easy cases, and they want to deal with what they know and what they understand. So what do you do when you've got all this weird, complicated stuff going on, and no one has the patience to, or even the interest? Like one of my friends on social media said to me, like, it just blows my mind that you haven't met someone that is really interested in taking on a challenge. Like Dr. House, someone who's going to go home and mull it over and really enjoy a challenge, right? I enjoy a challenge. I like really detailed things. I have tons and tons of patience. And a lot of people like mysteries and challenges and the victory of solving a mystery, right? The victory of problem solving. So it's weird to me that no one is interested, and it's weird to other people as well. Why haven't I met a doctor who really wants to hear all? I even remember, like, saying to one doctor, like, don't people want to be, if someone's been misdiagnosed over and over and over again? Well, this video isn't about misdiagnosis, it's about the mystery of this. But if a patient has been misdiagnosed over and over again, wouldn't you want to be the hero in that story and be the one who figures it out? Wouldn't you want that small victory, the satisfaction, right? When you fix something in your house, and you climb in a ladder and you fix something that's been broken for like 7 years, there's satisfaction and victory in that. I remember saying to a doctor, like, wouldn't you want to be the hero? Wouldn't you want to be a hero in someone's story? Don't people want to solve, you know, a mystery or complicated stuff. So, you know, that whole thing of going, you know, me sleeping for 4 hours, sleeping for 5 hours a night for 5 years, sleeping 4 hours a night for 5 years, sleeping 3 hours a night for 5 years, then losing my hearing, sleeping 18 hours a day for a year, losing my hearing for 2 years, then going to bed one night, waking up. I just slept 18 hours, waking up, and my hearing's back. My hearing's way too loud. And now I'm only sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night, and I'm literally fighting for my life. And the hearing's back, and it feels like something clicked in my sinuses or my head. So often when I'm telling my story to doctors, I have become accustomed to leaving that out because no one. It's like, oh my God, you practically see them rolling their eyes like it gets too complicated. It's like, you know, either you're watching your clock and you're like, come on, get it out, tell your story. Or you've got someone interested in hearing and trying to solve what's happening. And you shouldn't feel like you have to leave like weird, mysterious stuff out of your story, because that might be the very problem. Like, you know, I've been leaning towards, well, you know, maybe this is just the jaw. Maybe this is just, you know, a small airway and apnea. But, you know, like, that's neurological. I think going from 3 hours a night, sleeping 3 hours every night, then sleeping 18 hours a night, and then for a year, and then sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night for years, that's neurological. Regardless if it's, because I've looked it up, like there's no evidence that fluid in your ear can cause you to sleep and sleep and sleep. If you Google that, it says, yeah, you can have a hard time falling asleep and be miserable and stuff when you've got fluid in your ear. Nowhere can I find anywhere that someone can have fluid in their ear and they're sleeping 18 to 20 hours a day. Like, I think it's neurological. I think it's brain. I didn't have a virus. I wasn't sick. I had fluid in my ear, but I didn't have a cold or a virus for a year. It's got to be, now I'm leaning back towards it's the Chiari. But it's like I'm around doctors who don't want to hear a challenge. They're not up for a challenge. Which blows my mind because I would think it would be fun. If you were a doctor and a challenging case came along, aren't you up for a challenge? And it seems like most of them are not. If you were an ENT surgeon or you know, like, I don't know, any kind of doctor at all, and you've got this just regular, you know, most of your patients have run-of-the-mill stuff. I don't know. Like, wouldn't you be intrigued by a challenging case? Like it's not just people sitting around thinking about trying to diagnose and trying to solve the medical mystery. It's not just diagnosis. It's also trying to figure out what's up with these doctors. Like we're always trying to figure out what are these doctors thinking about when they don't want to hear details, or you don't have time to hear details. Well, time is money, right? I mean, do they want to hear one person's story for 45 minutes or three people's stories for 15 minutes each? I mean, I feel like my head is going to blow off. I've had 3 hours of sleep. Like I feel like my head is being crushed in a metal vise, and my sinuses and my ears, and I don't believe. I don't know. I know there's got to be other people experiencing the stuff I've experienced, but it's like all the specialists that I've seen, they're not up for a challenge. They're not like we're not, most of them, and some of them were, we had interesting conversations, but most of them don't want to have, troubleshooting ideas back and forth, and having real conversations. I feel like I'm gonna I feel like my head is breaking. I was gonna say I feel like I'm gonna have a stroke, but no, I don't feel like my blood pressure is high or anything. I don't get high blood pressure. I feel like my mind, my brain is gonna break. My head hurts so bad. My eyes are getting screwed up. I can feel, my eyes, my ears, my sinuses, my airway, fluid in the ear, Chiari malformation, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And I'm really now wondering if this really isn't the Chiari. If this really is all Chiari. My eyes, my ears, my airway, my apnea, my brain, my head, my sleep. Like my whole life has been destroyed by this. I mean, I've lost literally almost everything because of this. I really wonder if this is all about not wanting to provide Chiari surgery. Is that what all of this is about? And when they diagnosed my Chiari, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, if it was just clear cut, if I was just walking along and then bang, I've got my head hurts, my head hurts, my head hurts. If it was just the classic Chiari pain and nonstop pain and I'm screaming for help, they probably would have done surgery. But because, Chiari can present in like dozens and dozens of different nagging symptoms, and if you don't have a classic case of it here, where in Canada where I'm at, they I don't think they feel convinced that it's Chiari, but yet you can lose everything in your life, your job, your everything. You lose your entire life, and you're sitting here disabled.